Welcome back to part 2 of my 100 days and 7 days to die. I do hope you enjoy, sit back, relax, and I'll see you in the next one. Day 11 starts with us hopping onto our new bike and doing a bit of exploration. We have a look at our map and decide where we want to head. Obviously we're looking for some harder areas because we want some good loot. Getting around now feels so much more better on this bike. It's so much better than walking, and I mean, we don't even have to use stamina if we don't want to. We decided to go to the Boar Barnes fields, and opening this up I was not too sure what to expect, but again I was dealing with boars. I don't know if these are like zombie boars or normal boars, but they're a fucking pain in my ass. We then put a point into pain tolerance, and then we carry on by killing a few more boars, a few zombies decide to fall through the floor, and then we carry on making our way through. We obviously get to the end and we grab the loot. At this point, we wanted to make sure we had everything that was good, and we was just pretty much grabbing everything we can find. Early game, you just never know what's going to be important. Obviously, you've got to open up these boxes. The vehicles, I mean, you don't really get much from them, but if you get a good box or whatever, it's not too bad. We then parkoured our way outside and jumped over to the top of the silo. We climbed in, down to the bottom, and we did actually find a secret box. There was nothing good inside, I was not too impressed, but we hopped on our bike and we carried on pedalling back home. Once we returned to the trader, we decided to do our first tier 2 job. Hoping that these was going to give us some better stuff, we decided to grab a tier 2 clear before buying ourselves a pipe machine gun. We had an abundance of 7.62 ammo, and it was just worth, having a better weapon. We got some food cooked up before we made ourselves a tier 5 stone axe. We then hopped on our bike and pedalled over to our next objective. This time we were clearing out the Harrison residence. Obviously we had to start the quest. There's been a few times where I've forgotten to do that. But we did get swarmed by a few zombies just here. But obviously we're smart, we're strong, and we are capable. So we quickly put these zombies down. On my first video, I did notice a couple of comments from a few people saying they would like to see it on a harder difficulty, and not a lot of people play on this difficulty, which is just the regular one. So I have upped it 2 difficulties to the warrior difficulty after this video. So you will notice it will start getting harder, and we'll also die more and struggle more. But we carry on going through and clearing the building. We found ourselves some nice loot. Obviously, we are always looking for the books. We want to make sure we can unlock as many things as possible. Part of me feels like we're not actually going to get everything done by the end of 100 days. So I definitely feel like there is the potential for 200 days, just purely because I do want to be able to get to the best stuff we can. So unless we start picking up the pace, getting these books and unlocking new stuff, things are gonna take time. But as you can see, we actually unlocked iron tools, so that is a big upgrade for us. And we got a helmet light mod, which again is going to be massively useful, meaning now we can actually see in the dark. We hand that quest in and we take the 9mm ammo, and then we just decide, let's put a point into the machine gunner perk, meaning our machine guns will be a bit better, because using the AR now, it is worth it. We are now coming to the end of day 12. We leave the pine forest and make our way into the burnt forest. We decide to have a look round, but before you know it, we're into the wasteland. As far as I'm aware, this is the hardest area, and we found a Mopower service truck, and inside we found my favourite weapon, the stun baton. The thing is unreal. I mean, what absolute luck is that? But we were not messing about. We were not going into the wasteland. The burnt forest is where we wanted to be. We wanted to slowly progress. We made our way into these crypts. 2.5 skill difficulty. But I mean, yeah, look at this. Look how many hits. But still, we can still one-shot with this stun baton. The thing is very, very nice. And this pipe AR is such a massive upgrade. But then we go and find one anyway, a better one. So, yeah, it was a bit pointless. It helped us out for a little bit, but we would have found one anyway. But we actually found quite a lot of loot in this place, so it was worth just a quick look round, killing a few zombies. It's XP at the end of the day, and it's always good just to do. We then went to the Crisp residence, and I was thinking, are they called, Mr. and Mrs. Crisp? No.
they're burnt to a crisp. Kind of sad when you think about it, but you know, can't take the heat, get out the oven, and if you ain't feeling it, get out the burnt forest. Anyway, we're finding loot, we're opening loot. What we are looking for is actually the robotic crafting books, meaning we can make our own stun batons at some point. We had an airdrop come in, we went and grabbed it. Obviously, we got food, we got drinks, but the main thing, crafting skill magazines. We got multiple, and already Iron Tools Quality 2 were up there. We then got some really good mods for our weapons. We placed them on the AR and the shotgun before searching through the old creepy church. It's kind of crazy that they named this place after your dad. But anyway, we had to parkour our way in because we are parkour experts. Obviously, we looked around for the loot. We had a few zombies to deal with, but with our new stun baton, we are unstoppable. Well, I say we're unstoppable, but we are like 30% of the way to being infected and becoming a zombie ourselves. But anyway, more loot, more good stuff, more jump scares by zombies dropping down, trying to kill us. But at the end of the day, we don't care. We're here for the loot, we're here for the good stuff. We carry on searching round. At this point, we were trying to find the trader for this area. I kind of just wanted to find the trader organically, so that's why we're looting around, having a bit of fun, and then we'll find the trader when we find the trader. At this point, I mean, we got very unlucky. We had bleeding, concussions, we were scratched, we were fatigued, and really, yeah, I was going to die anyway, let's be honest. Don't matter what weapon I had in that situation, I was not being saved. But then, one hit, and I'm already infected again. My luck is absolutely terrible in this game. It is terrible in life. I swear to God, I literally get hit by one zombie. That's me, infected. I've got, crabs, whatever. It is crazy unlucky. But we soon quickly dealt with all the zombies, grabbed all the loot, and made our way out of this building. At this point, I definitely didn't feel like hanging around. I kind of just wanted to, find this trader, set up a new temporary base, and hopefully just not die. But anyway, we found our first legendary parts. Not really too sure at this point what I was going to use it for, but obviously I discovered as I went on. We were smart to check the newspaper dispensers and the mail drop boxes because we found a bunch of magazines. And then we decided to carry on looking around hoping to find this trader. Lucky for us, we stumbled across her and it is my favourite one, Trader Jen. I know what you're thinking. She's got a couple of assets, that's why she's my favourite, but you are wrong. She's my favourite because she is fun and energetic. It's all about personality, But anyway, we had a job from her and we decided to go get it done. Clear the infested area. Sadly, it is a place that we have done before. I was hoping to get, stuff within the burnt forest, but all of her tasks were outside of the burnt forest. So it was a bit annoying, but still, we still got them done. We still got the rewards and it was still worth it when you look at it. Anyway, we made our way to the top of the tower, and there was quite a few of them, so again, we pulled out the machine gun, hoping that this was going to make things a bit easier. But we were planning on saving some ammo, just because there was a blood moon tonight, it was a horde night, and we weren't fully prepared. Some of the loot we actually found here was quite good. We did get some new armour to put on, so it made us a little bit stronger. Not only that, we look 10 times better now. You can't go around killing zombies, acting cool, when you look like a fucking idiot. Anyway, it was getting late, and we knew we had to find somewhere where we could chill and wait for the horde. We decided to go on top of your dad's church and wait for them. At first, I thought, no one's coming. Maybe it's a fluke. But then they all came, and I got a bit cocky, and I fell and almost died. So again, I kind of had to, do what I do best, run away, try my best to stay alive, and take a shit ton of damage. At this point, I felt like we were just constantly fracturing around, fracturing our legs, breaking bones, everything that could go wrong was going wrong. It was constant concussions. But anyway, we managed to finally kill all the zombies. And you can see, this is only our second horde night, and still, it had ramped up massively. And they're only going to get worse after this. And still, I'm a little bit newbie when it comes to this. I still, don't be smart about it. I still think I can stand there and fight them. I mean, what can go wrong? Well, everything can go wrong. But lucky enough, we did manage to survive. We didn't die, for once. We made our way back to Trader Jen, and we are going to give in the quest. Obviously, we want good rewards. I mean, the rewards weren't great, so we kind of just went for the shotgun shells, and then we just grabbed another job. There's not really much to do. We accepted our next fetch quest, and then we decided it would be good time to actually start building some sort of a base. So we started by harvesting some wood and making some wooden blocks. With that, we made a quick 5x5, just so we had a decent area so we can put down some storage as well as a forge and a workbench in the future. We also then decided to take back some of the cars that was near us, not only for the iron, but it also clears them up, just so zombies don't get stuck on them and end up hiding behind them or doing us in. We then put 2 points into Electrocutioner, just so our stun batons are a bit stronger, and then we made our way to our next job. Honestly, having this bike has made my life so much more easier. But anyway, we're back in the same place, but who cares? There's loot, there's zombies to kill. It's still a good time for us. So we make our way through nice and quick, kill the zombies, make sure to grab all the loot we can, and we just carry on running through this place. As you can see, with the stun baton, we actually do have the ability to stun them and it stands them still, making it a lot easier to fight multiple zombies at once. I think that's why I enjoy the weapon so much, as well as the strong attacks, and it uses quite little stamina, so I sort of just power attack every attack. As long as I land all the attacks, it sort of works out for us. For some reason at this point, I kept having these fucking sneaky assassin zombies that made literally zero sound until they were fisting me. But either way, I turned around, gave them a quick bonk, and we carried on with the looting. Obviously, we wanted to make sure we grab everything, as well as these legendary parts that we kept getting. We were hoping obviously they were going to come in useful at some point. As we were leaving, we had a big group of them ready, all lined up to get shot in the head. So obviously we made sure to do that. And they kept dropping some really nice loot for us, so we can't complain. But before you know it, day 16, back on the bike, and we're heading back to the trader. Obviously it takes us ages to actually get back to the trader because all the jobs are dead far away. But anyway, we grabbed some herbal antibiotics so we can actually cure our infection before grabbing another job. Then we had another supply drop coming down, so we decided to grab that. Some of the stuff we get in these supply drops is honestly just worth it, and the fact that this drops every 3 days is amazing. So a big lesson there, never ever ignore your supply drops. Always make sure to grab them all, because there's a chance you're going to get a bunch of these magazines and it's going to make you even stronger. But we're at Marvin's Getaway. We've done this place before. We're going to do it again. I mean, it's not great, but it's not terrible. Lucky for us, it's a very simple go in, bonk a few zombies, grab the loot and make our way out. Obviously at the end they all did clump up, so we decided just to use our guns. It's a bit better than bonking them all, and we really wanted to actually get cured instead of carrying this infection even further. But look at that, 110 7.62 rounds. I mean, this literally, we get so much ammo, more than we ever used. But anyway, we're back at the base, day 17, and we are creating a forge. This now means we can actually craft ourselves some forged iron. So we have to put all our clay in, all our iron, a bit of coal, and start smelting them down. Once Jen opened up, we handed in our job and we decided to go for the crafting skill magazine bundle before just grabbing another job off her. This time it was just another fetch one. And obviously we then used our magazines and we actually got some decent XP from it all. On the way to the next job, we decided, let's not go straight there. Let's actually start exploring some of these harder buildings. So we went to the PAL residence and made our way through there. Our main goal was to actually try and get enough magazines so we could unlock the workbench. With that, we're going to be able to craft better weapons, ammo, and not only that, better vehicles, as well as like a massive variety of armour. Like, don't get me wrong, I do like there's a massive bunch of armour and you can choose and get different perks, but there is a lot of it and it takes a long time to actually read through it all and figure it all out. But either way, the loot in this building was actually rather nice, and we are finding a lot of good armour just around. So we make sure to always grab that and either salvage it or put it on. Once we grabbed all the loot from here, we made our way to a harder building, another 2.5 skulls, the Byington residence. Obviously, we decided, going in, there was a few of them around, we'd just pull out the AR and start blasting before we start doing a bit of bonking. We get through the first group of zombies quite easy, and then there's a couple hidden behind the doors. But, overall, it's quite simple. We do have to parkour our way to the next part of the building because it's all like blocked off with, barbed wire and that, which is kind of cool, but, it'd be better if you could actually sort of, make the houses your base a lot easier. I feel like it's very difficult to make a house your base because there's the whole blocks and ramps and stuff, so it's a little bit annoying. But anyway, before you know it, we're at the end and we're just grabbing the loot. Sometimes you'll get these shotgun messiah boxes and you're expecting something amazing and you pull out a fucking tier 1 bone knife. Like, bro, come on, what am I going to do with that? But anyway, we had a bunch of zombies in here and they actually gave us a little bit of a hard time. But either way, we bonked them, we made our way up, killing more and more zombies and always making sure to grab the loot. But obviously, we did find ourselves a new pistol. It was actually better than the pipe pistol we had, and it was just a lot more fun to use. So we decided to use that, and even, put a few rounds on the zombie's head. We found ourselves a locker, and again, rubbish loot. Why is there not something better in there? It's literally a safe. We have to use lockpicks to get inside. Rubbish. The RNG of this loot sometimes is honestly disgusting. But the bright side is we keep finding magazines and obviously we can keep getting new stuff. I almost missed the loot hidden at the top here and it was guarded by an army soldier, obviously, who sadly fucking fell off the roof. I mean, what an idiot. But before you knew it, I was like, oh, he's gone, he ain't gonna get back to me. The motherfucker ran all the way back onto the roof and then climbed up the ladder and tried to get me again. I mean, determination, even though you're dead, I've got to give it to you. But lucky enough for us, few shots and he was dead. Obviously, we needed a few bonks as well, but everyone loves a bonk. We then hopped on a bike and decided to get out of there. We were making our way back to the base. Now that we could actually make our workbench, we decided to craft the 100 nails that we needed and then make the rest into the forged iron. We then needed some duct tape, so we got that crafted, and then we just needed a few more parts, so we actually started getting rid of a few more cars. Whilst we was waiting for the rest of our iron to actually craft, we decided we were going to go out and try and find somewhere very difficult. We came across this big fat train. It was actually inside of the wasteland, and we thought, you know what, why not? Let's give it a go. Even if we don't finish it, we can still find some good loot inside. It started off well, bonking these zombies really quick. I mean, a couple of hits and they were dead. But, before we knew it, a few more were coming, and they were coming quick, and still, we were able to bonk a lot of them and deal with them, but things were getting scary. But I was feeling confident, and I felt like we could get this done. And then more kept coming, and we had to reload, and we was trying to run away, and I had to pull out my other weapon, and I was scared at this point, and we'd not even really made it past the first floor. We then found ourselves in a cafeteria, and again, some of these were taking 10 bullets. They just would not die. And then we had these jumping ones, and I'm bonking them, and they're dodging it. I was getting a bit worried at this point. But still, I looked at myself and remembered who the fuck I am. And I was like, I can do this. I've got this. So I put on my big boy pants and we carried on blasting. But then more and more came, and they just wouldn't leave us alone. I mean, this big boy started spitting fucking snot everywhere. It was a luminous green. You know, we're blasting, we're running, things were looking scary. Our armour was actually weak. I was a little bit worried. But we survived. Do you know why? Because we're a fucking boss. We then had to make our way through the roof, and obviously we were trying to be sneaky, silencer, but there was a zombie that was literally stood there on fire. I mean, what are you doing, mate? We then carried on, sneaking our way through, and we thought, yeah, sneaky shot. Yet it was not worth it. Apparently every zombie heard it, and then they all started running towards us. But we dealt with them, and we actually found some really, really good armour, a tier 5 preacher armour. We then found a room with a bunch of loot. I thought, one zombie, what's going to happen? Yet I was wrong. I'm an idiot. I got stuck and I just had to run. We had a concussion. Things were not looking good. It was blurry. I couldn't see. We were getting stuck everywhere. And before you know it, we are dead. But what we need to remember is, you know, we're in the wasteland. We are so underprepared for this area. So we are doing well. And this definitely is where I was like, yeah, maybe upping the difficulty would be a smart idea. But anyway, after a few bonks, we dealt with the glowing green zombie and we went in and grabbed all the loot. And this was only the start of this building. We still had many, many floors to go up. But obviously, as you saw as well, when we ran inside, there was a fucking zombie bear outside. I mean, like, why? Why is there even them in the game? If zombies ain't hard enough, then we've got zombie fucking birds, and now zombie bears. I mean, what else? If I go near water, is there going to be a zombie shark? I do not know. But we found ourselves another loot room. We had a big bird come in, bonk, dead. Few zombies to deal with, but again, the old electric bonk stick, they ain't handling it. So as we opened up all the loot, we were looking for something useful, but sadly, the loot was not that great. But anyway, we opened it all, we grabbed it all, and we carried on progressing through this factory. This just felt like another situation where I feel like the loot should have been amazing, like knowing how hard this factory should be. I mean, it's like 7 schools. I was expecting to be finding like good weapons or really good like armor all over, or, you know, like really rare stuff, but it just felt like very common loot. But anyway, we kept leveling up a lot. We made our way through. We had a bunch more zombies to kill. They were falling from ceilings. They were running from everywhere. But we were quite clever and we were able to deal with a lot of them. We pretty much used all our pistol ammo at this point, but we kept our range for the majority of these fights. It was just the smarter thing to do. We then fell through this floor into a bunch of zombies, but we were smart enough to get out and run away and pull out our AR. If there's one thing I learnt from playing this game, is I may be a little bit smarter than these zombies. So all you got to do is run away, because I mean, the majority of them walk. The few of them that do run, nah, you're done. I mean, they chase you, they're quick, and it just ain't worth it. We then found where the power was, and we dealt with a couple of them before just waiting up here and letting the rest get stuck on the traps and just slowly killing them. We then had to parkour our way outside of the factory to progress even further. At this point, I mean, I couldn't find where else to go. We killed the rest of these zombies, and then I was lost. I couldn't find where to go. All the doors were locked. There was like nowhere else. So we called it a day, as we were now on to day 20. So obviously, dealing with these, making our way back home, we were feeling pretty good about ourselves and ready to take on the next 10 days. So if you did enjoy and you want to see more, do make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be made aware of when I post or even go live. All of this is streamed over at twitch.tv/The Great Dane or on YouTube here itself. Like I said, the difficulty is upped pretty much after this point. So if you do obviously want to see more difficulty and you're thinking, why is it so easy for him? Well, it's only going to get harder. So hopefully I will see you in the next video, and hopefully you did enjoy. Also, if there's any game you want to see me play, do let me know down in the comment section.